There we go. Okay, back on track. I thought today we could kind of toggle a little bit back and forth between intentionally kind of placing our attention on a particular object or sensory gate, and also try to kind of drop any intention to focus on any particular object. So this is sometimes called just sit or choiceless awareness. And I personally, I really like when we can contrast the experience between intentionally focusing and dropping all intention as soon as we realize that it's arisen. So let's settle in, whatever posture feels right for you. If you're seated, finding that balance between an upright, erect, lengthening through the body, some energy, and a bit of a settling as well. But this very present, gentle arriving to this moment. Why don't we also just take a few seconds to, with the next few exhalations, feel any obvious tension in the body to soften. We can just extend invitations for the body to let go of tension. So we're not attached to any particular outcome. We certainly can't force the body to let go. But this is a very deliberate willingness to contact perhaps places that we're feeling a little constricted or tight, holding, tense, and inviting that to dissolve, to soften, to relax. And I'm going to guide us in a meditation where we focus on the breath. In particular, I'm going to invite you, if you're going to follow along with this guidance, to focus on the area of the nostrils. However, you're perfectly free to pick any object to place your attention. It could be a physical sensation somewhere else in the body. It could be a mantra, external sound, really whatever works for you. But as part of this practice I'm leading, I'm going to narrow my attention to this small area of the physical, of somatic experience here at the nostrils. And when we direct our attention to a particular aspect of our experience, needs to happen is all other thoughts, sensations, emotions, they need to recede to the background in order for us to maintain our attention on this particular object in the foreground. And with the attention here at the nostrils, this is a very dynamic experience. There's movement, change. Noticing qualities of sensations. Is there warmth or coolness? Does that change as the breath cycles through? There's a spatial aspect to sensation. How big does this sensation seem to be? Is it like a ping pong ball size? To larger, smaller? Does it change in size as we track it? A little bigger and smaller. Is the intensity of the sensation changing as we're observing it? So as the meditator, we are choosing to put our attention somewhere. And that is a very valuable skill to develop, developing our concentration, our sensory clarity, our equanimity. And of course, if the mind wanders away from the chosen meditation object, we gently return it. We have that intention to maintain our focus on a particular object. So we'll continue to practice this way for another minute or two, and then we'll make a little shift. Okay, so by contrast, we're now going to move into what Shinzen calls do nothing. This choiceless awareness, this just sitting, Dzogchen. And it's kind of whatever happens, happens practice. So we're not looking to kind of interfere, to work with, to concentrate on any particular aspect of our experience. So really the only instruction here is, as soon as you become aware of an intention to control your attention, you do your best to drop it. So if, for example, I notice a discomfort in my knee and I'm used to meditating with that in a certain way, using a technique, using my attention in order to kind of untangle it, to kind of work in a productive way with it. With do nothing, I let go of that intention. There is no technique. It's this space where we abandon all techniques. This can be a tricky, kind of subtle practice. It's okay to kind of fumble a little bit. And we can look at it like we're still present. It's like a practice where we're concentrating without an object. It's kind of what sets it apart from a lot of our day-to-day life. This can feel like a really deep, passive, non-interfering listening without needing to fix, to plan, to direct, to cling, to understand. So I'm going to invite you, if you're interested, just again to kind of help sensitize ourselves to that part of us that does direct our attention. We can try bringing the attention back to the nostrils. Really appreciate that felt sense of a choice, of this decision, this effort. And there's nothing wrong with making these efforts. We're just engaging in this practice to perhaps realize we have the choice to kind of turn that intention off and on. So for the last 10 minutes of this practice, I'm going to leave it up to you. If you would like to return back to this choiceless awareness, this just sitting, dropping any intention to control your attention. If you find focusing on an object is kind of stabilizing and grounding, of course, you're very free to practice in that way, and you can float back and forth. Many people choose to meditate with their eyes closed because it can really help to minimize distraction when we're trying to maintain our focus on something. And it can also feel very calming and relaxing to have the eyes closed while we practice. And if you are interested, you can just investigate this for yourself. Is there an intention because you're meditating to have your eyes closed? And if you drop that intention, do they open? And sometimes we drop the intention and they'll stay closed. Just trying to catch the subtle ways that we have this tendency to kind of control our experience, attempt to control our experience.